Everyone, welcome back to Art a la Carte, and in this episode I'm going to talk to you guys about how to draw a wolf jumping. As you can see from these sketches that I have quickly done up, there are a lot of ways to draw wolves jumping. Different angles, different types of jumps, different parts of the cycle of the jump. So drawing a tutorial, I have to choose one of these, but I wanted to show you kind of some of the mock-up sketches I do. Usually when I start to prepare for a video, I will go ahead and look at some different reference photos and then draw a whole bunch of different sketches and decide which one I like the best, which one I think would be best for you guys to learn, which one I can explain the best, and then I pick my favorite. But I wanted to show you this kind of sketch up mock-up first, just to show you how I teach myself how to draw these things. I don't actually draw wolves a lot. I have a lot of how to draw wolf tutorials out there, and that's because you guys request them. A lot of you guys ask me, are wolves my favorite animal, because I have so many wolf tutorials, and I really do like wolves, but they're not one of the main things I draw a lot. In fact, before I started doing this channel, I had maybe drawn a wolf a few times. So it's been something that I've been learning how to perfect as I go along. So I wanted to just encourage you. This is one of the things that I do when I draw something that I haven't drawn a lot of, or even in this case wolves. I've drawn quite a few wolves, but haven't spent a lot of time drawing wolves jumping. I just do bunches of sketches. I'm not trying to do one finished picture. I just fill up my drawing with just all these different sketches, and it just kind of helps me to get comfortable with drawing that subject. So if you're learning how to draw something and you're finding that you're having a little bit of a challenge with it, I just encourage you to go back and just get a piece of paper and draw a whole bunch of quick whatever that is, whether it's wolf jumping or a cat or a dragon or a horse or eyeballs or whatever it is. Just fill up your whole page with just really quick sketches of that. And don't just do one page. Continue doing it over and over and over and over again. You know, do 100, do 200. And then even after you master it, keep going back and just continue practicing. I have now drawn a lot of wolves, and I still have to practice them up a little bit to keep in good shape. So now let's go to my drawing board. I'm going to show you how to draw one of these wolves here. And I'm going to do it really, really lightly so I can go back and erase if I need to. So I have here the head of the wolf, and I'm going to have this kind of power line. This is going to give me kind of the action of how my drawing is going to go. So I'm going to start from the back of the horse. So I'm going to start from the back of the wolf's head, and I'm just going to follow that kind of the backbone. And it's just going to be this motion line. And you'll see, obviously the backbone doesn't do this, but the backbone kind of comes down like this, but I want this motion coming here. And so this will help me to know where to put these other circles. So I'm going to put my kind of chest and rib cage area here. And again, you'll see I'm just putting these in with really just messy circle lines. I'm looking more for that motion than I am for that perfect line. And then I'm going to put back here just the hips a little bit. And you'll see I'm overlapping them just to get them in the right spots there. Once I have that going in here, now I can begin to put in my legs. I'm going to gesture those in just with some lines, so it kind of comes off the shoulder, back to the back elbow, and then reaching out forward to the front of the paw and down to the paw pad itself. So there's one leg. And then the other one, even though you can't see it as well, is going to kind of come out and down here. So you can see they're starting to stretch out, so as he finishes this jump, that he'll be ready to land with these legs. So then the chest is really nice and bulky and big, and then it comes back down to his hind legs. And his hind legs are the powerhouse that is pushing him off. And so they're going to be really extended back. So coming back from the hips, back to the knees, back to the back of the legs, and then the actual back of the foot. So there's one leg. And same thing over here, down to the knee, to the back of the leg, and down. And then the last thing I want to do is I want to put in a little bit of the tail. And the tail is the balancer. It helps him to keep that balance. So it's going to kind of just come up a little bit. I'm not going to put a lot of detail into it right now. So this is my basic form for my wolf jumping. And I can then begin to put in where I want his head. So his eyes are going to be right about there, and his snout's kind of coming this way. So I kind of wrap that in around. And again, drawing super, super light so we can erase. Put in the tip of his nose and bring out that bridge of his snout. The underside, kind of the front, and then bring it back in. And you could have his mouth open or closed. I'm going to have it closed. And it kind of come underneath his little chin. And then he has, wolves have these just really thick coats. Has a really thick neck. So I'm not going to really kind of come in for that neck. I'm just going to kind of urge this right down into his shoulders here. So let's put in his ears. So his ears are going to come up these great kind of coned arches here. There's one, and then one on the other side, which is, I'm going to draw a little bit smaller because it's wrapped around on the other side of his head there. And there we go. This is the part of the drawing where you can change anything you want to. So far we've been putting everything in really lightly. We're not getting into a lot of detail. So if you don't like the paw this way, even if it's different from your reference photo, you can change it. You are the master of your own drawing. So you can do whatever you want him to be doing. Once you come to the point that you like this, then you can go back if you'd like to and take your eraser. I'm going to use my little tri-tip eraser here, and I'm going to erase the lines that I don't need anymore. Now that I can see my drawing a little bit better, I can go back in here and begin to flesh out the limbs of my wolf. You need a little bit more detailed instructions on how to draw a wolf body. I have several videos, in fact, on how to draw wolves, and I will put a link to the playlist on those so you can check out all of the wolf videos there. But I'm just going to flesh that out, and just note that as the legs go out, they get thinner and thinner and thinner as they go. Not super, but there's going to be more muscle up here than there's going to be down here. And this is again where it's really important to look at reference photos to kind of see and learn the anatomy of what makes up a wolf and what's going on there. What kind of muscles do they have? Or what anything you draw. So nice and thick back here with the back haunches. And then as it comes back to the back heel, it kind of thins out a little bit. This is going to be nice and rounded. And then coming down to the back paw there. The underside of the belly. And this leg here. And just like that. I'm going to put a little bit of an arch, even though I have this power line here. I'm going to break that line just a little bit. Put a little bit of an arch so it dips down just a bit. Alright, so now he's fleshed out even more. So again, now I can go back in and clean up these lines in the legs that I don't need anymore. So at this point you want to decide what you ultimately want to do with your wolf. You probably should have had a kind of an idea of that before you started drawing, because it really will determine what kind of paper you use. I'm drawing this on a regular Bristol paper, so I can do a lot of different things. I could choose to do a watercolor with this, I could choose to do a marker, color pencil, I could do an ink drawing with this. So I'm going to start going, I'm going to do some detailed line work with pencil. So I'm going to switch actually from my regular wooded pencils to a mechanical pencil. So here is my very expensive pencil that I bought at the Dollar Tree, but I love it because it has Arial on it. But I like using mechanical pencils when I want to get some really detailed line work, just because it really, I can control the thickness of this line. So actually before I start doing this, I'm actually going to take my gummy eraser, and I'm going to go through here and I'm just going to clean up all the lines, and in fact almost erase every line on here because I want a really nice precise line. So I'm going to clean this drawing up so it almost looks like you can't even see the wolf anymore. But now I can go and just use this very kind of small ghost line and begin adding in my detailed lines with that. Some things you want to be really careful when you're adding and working with so much color is that you don't focus so much on getting this nice dark color that you totally scrub out all of your whites that are in, or the highlights that are in your drawing as well. And so you'll notice that in places here, you don't even see a line here. There's no line between the sky and his tail. It just, the shadows here and the dark values here help your eye to fill that in. But you wouldn't see a line connecting on that. And same in other places. I really erased a lot of the lines to make it just kind of flow in so that the highlights of the wolf are the same as the highlights in the background. So I just encourage you, if you want to really become better at drawing more realistic animals, is to study them. Photos and things like that are great, but if you ever have a chance to see an animal in real life and take your own photos and just watch them, that is amazing. So my question for you guys is what wild animals have you seen? Has there ever been a wild animal that you've gotten actually to see in the wild that has just been awesome and maybe kind of took you by surprise? I know a couple of times I've run across a bear. So let me know in the comment section below what animals you have seen, wild animals you've seen in the wild, or what animal you would love to see in the wild. This picture, along with lots and lots of other drawings and paintings that I have, will be available for sale on my Etsy shop. So make sure to check back often so that you don't miss out on any. There are some really fun pieces there. Thank you guys so much for drawing with me, and until next time, God bless you guys, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye!